We are so excited to have not only a curvy fashion influencer, she is also a country fangirl just like us. Georgia Millie, welcome to Girls in Low Places.
Woo!
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 We are so excited to have you here.
I'm so excited to be here. I can't believe I'm here, to be honest.
Well, we did bump into you at Morgan Wallen.
Yeah, it was like I was saying to the girls, it was a bit of a fever dream moment. The next day I woke up and I was like, did that happen? Am I going on the podcast? I was sat having a Chinese at 1 a.m. in Chinatown and I was like, I'm going on the podcast. My husband was like, yeah, okay.
I was wasted after my one margarita.
It was just a mad day, really, wasn't it?
It was.
But actually, that's not the first time that we have come and chased you down. When I say we, I actually mean Aussie.
Can't believe you bring this
I'm
up.
bringing this up.
In front of my icon.
We're at Country to Country. Like, this is like a year ago. This is before the podcast was born. Me and Aussie were just at Country to Country having a lovely time. And I just remember losing her and just hearing her voice from like far up a stairwell going, really big fan of
I
your...
tapped you on the stairs and was like, huge fan. And Katie was like, oh my God, stop. That's so embarrassing.
Honestly, when people come up and say hi, it like literally melts me inside because I'm just like, oh, because it's really surreal. Like when you post all the time, you just forget who you're posting to. You just think, I'm just in my bedroom putting on different outfits and singing to country songs in my car. Like nobody actually watches this. And then when you meet people, it's like dead nice.
Yeah. How'd you get into it?
It was, yeah, like kind of, so 2020, obviously, because I'm a hairdresser like full time. And then obviously couldn't work because of COVID and everything. So like the story kind of goes that my sister was like, you can't download TikTok because you're too old. But my sister's 7 years younger than me. And I was like, well, you just watch. And then I'm like, now like, look at this. Like, that's like, too old what? Like,
that's the ultimate sibling rivalry. Like, I've taken it really far.
Yeah, so I just started posting like just funny little TikTok things like everyone did in lockdown, like really non-serious stuff. And then people started being like, oh, I love your outfit. Where's that from? Da, 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 da. And then started posting it. And then I'd say kind of end of 21 into 22, it kind of really took off.
I feel like your fashion as well, like what you're putting out there has got like more and more like country related over like the last couple of years.
Yeah, definitely. And like, I think I would say a big part of that has come from, so I feel, it sounds so dramatic, my life was really changed when me and my husband went on our honeymoon and we went to like the deep south and we did a big road trip. Because I've always been a huge country fan, but my husband has really never been a fan at all. He used to like really like, turn that shit off, like this, don't even like it. Then I got that boy to Texas and he literally put his first pair of boots on and he was like, this is the life.
Was that how you did it?
Yeah. And honestly, like, I think from then, having someone then to go to like all the country events with, like before none of my friends were into it. So I wasn't really in the community at all. So then as soon as Al got into it and I had someone to like drag along to stuff with me, that was it then. And it just rocketed. And then I feel like sort of last year, we literally went to probably at least 2 gigs a month.
I mean, once you're in the country fold, you're in. You can't get out. You're deep into it.
Yeah. And he likes to say now that he's deeper than me. He's like, I find really niche people. I'm like, yeah, all right.
Okay, been on your Spotify radio, have you?
Like, he's like, have you heard this band? I'm like, yeah, I haven't. But I'm just trying to be like, it was mine first. Back off.
I think that's something that like a lot of girls in the UK, like, you do feel like you're dragging your partner along to it sometimes. And it feels like, no, please come with me to. And then slowly they start going, oh, actually, what's that? And I just think it's like, I was going to ask you, like, how did you get him to start liking it? But so you just got to go to Texas.
I think you've just got to drag them on your once in a lifetime road trip, promise them barbecue food, and then just...
That's it. All the men will follow.
They'll all go in, yeah.
He was keen at Morgan Wallen to start Boys in Low Places.
I forgot about that.
And next week on the podcast, Boys in Low Places.
Oh God, yeah, no, he's so like now, like it's so funny. His family really laugh because they're like, why is he such a cowboy? Like, and he's like, I found my calling. He's like, this is who I am meant to be. And he does really suit the whole vibe, to be fair.
Yeah, he does. You just got to get them. Once they're in, they're hooked. But I do think it's a problem. Not problem, but I think it's an issue that a lot of country fans in the UK have, is that they sometimes just don't know who to go to these gigs with.
Yeah,
like
huge.
Even when we were at Morgan Wallen, there was quite a few Girls in Low Places listeners who came up to us and they were just there on their own because they were like, well, my friend didn't want to come and they weren't really sure they were a fan. And I think it's something that we struggle with as well. Like if like a couple of us aren't available, then I'm like, well, am I just going to go to this on my own? But we're thinking we might start doing some like Girls in Low Places community meetups before
Yeah,
gigs.
love that.
Get all the girls together so that everyone feels like they can go together.
Yeah, because I think as well, because the gigs are getting bigger, they're getting more popular, they're getting more expensive.
Yeah.
So like, you know, like the Morgan Wallen tickets were spenny.
Yeah.
So like your friend that's not really heard of him is not going to spend 90 quid to go and see him,
No.
are they? Which you kind of get. So like, yeah, I think that's definitely 100% something you should do. Because I feel like now, once you're in the community as well, and you meet up with a couple people and you get chatting, and once the drinks are flowing, I think that's it then. You've got like friends for life. Like I've genuinely met friends for life, like through like the country gigs and stuff over the last couple of years. So I think, yeah, once you're in, you're fine, but it's just getting that foot in.
Yeah. It really is a community, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
Massively so.
Yeah.
Why do you think, though, like the country fans are so passionate? Like, I just think it's a different level of genre in that respect, isn't it? Like, everyone we meet is just like, I mean, as we are, diehard.
Yeah.
But I can't understand why there's no other genre that's the same, really. Or maybe I'm just not aware.
People thought it was uncool for so long.
Yeah,
do you honestly
definitely.
think?
Yeah, I remember like being at school and listening to like Rascall Flatts on my iPod.
Oh my
and
God,
just being like, and
what hurts the most?
maybe that's why.
And my friends would be like, what's this version? What about Cascada? Is it Cascada?
Oh yeah.
And I was like, that is awful. But I was like, no, Rascall Flatts till I die. And then they were like, you weirdo. So yeah, I think there was probably a lot of people that had that experience.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think now it's getting more popular. People are getting a bit more like, that's my genre.
Yeah.
And they get quite protective of it, which I get. I mean, I'm all for the community getting bigger, but yeah, I can see why people are like, no, it's mine.
Protective of it.
Yeah.
And also, there's no like outlet for country fans unless it's a gig. Do you know what I mean? Like you can so rarely like go to the club and listen to you're not only like twerking to Priscilla Block in your average club.
I mean, I would.
We would be. Put thick thighs on. I want to get it.
They never play it anywhere.
No.
So you have to go to like a super specific, not that I ever, also making it sound like I go out all the time. I never go out.
No, but they're like super, like there's the country brunches, there's a few more nights out that feel like they're happening now, but you still have to really plan for it. If you wanted to have a casual night out at a country music bar, it doesn't happen that often. There is that place in Manchester.
Oh my God, so that's mine and Alex's, like, we have our favourite bar ever.
We still haven't been. We're desperate to go.
So it's called Bunny Jackson's, honestly. So the last few times, so Al's from Manchester. So the last few times we've been out, so we go to a lot. And the last few times we've been out in Manchester, like literally once a couple of weeks ago, we went for like a whole weekend. And both nights we went out in Bunny Jackson's, nowhere else.
That's so fun.
And we were like, we came in the second night. They were like, again. And I was like, again. It's just so good.
What makes it so good? For people who haven't been, what makes it so good?
I think it's just got a real dive bar feel. Like the walls are just covered in crap. Like that's really like interesting to look at. The staff are really nice. They sell American beer, so that's why, because we like it because they sell PBR.
Right. Yeah.
So and it's like a little slice of Nashville. And I don't know. Like I think they do play country songs. It's not all country music, so I think it's quite a good one if your friends aren't necessarily huge country fans, and we're just like, let's just go to this cool dive bar. I think it's a good way to get them in, but they do have country music as well. And they have bandoki on a Saturday.
I was just about to say, I think they have karaoke, don't they?
It's so good because it's like you get up with the full band. And I did it.
And it's also
great.
It's also like, hang on, wait. What is your song of choice if you're doing that?
Well, the problem is with bandoki, you only get a certain set list because obviously the band can only play a certain
What did you do
amount of
night
songs.
one and what did you do night two?
So it was only on night one because the night two, I say it was a few weeks ago, it was when we went, the Super Bowl was on. So night two was the Super Bowl night.
Okay.
So like night one, what did I do? 9 to 5, Dolly Parton.
Oh, classic. You could bring the house down.
I was a bit limited.
Quite wordy, that song,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
Catches you off guard.
Yeah.
You're like, stumble out of bed. And you're like, oh my God.
I kept like passing the mic to the audience, like, sing it.
Yeah, here we go.
And then everyone was like,
Oh my God. I love it. Right, okay, that's on the list.
Yeah, we need to go.
Maybe we should do a Girls in Low Places night with them. I see it. I can see it now. What was your entryway into country? Tell me about that.
So I always like blame my dad. And my dad like loved like Randy Travis when I was growing up, and then was kind of like listening to a bit of Rascall Flatts, like Shania. Like I can't not decorate my house and not listen to Shania Up album. Like it is.
Yeah.
What an album. My dad had it in the car.
Yeah, my dad had it in the car and he would always, we moved around a lot because my dad was in the forces. So when my mum and dad were like decorating in between houses, it was always like Shania Up album, like always on. So I can't not paint and listen to that album.
How much painting are you doing?
Not that much, but you know what I'm saying? It's nostalgic.
Yeah. The smell of the paint, Shania Twain.
Don't listen to her really any of the time.
I can just imagine, Georgia, you're going to be sitting at home with like, pot of paint, Shania, Saturday night. Forget drugs. That's all you need.
Just the fumes. The fumes and the tunes.
Fumes and the tunes. No, but that shouldn't. I feel like so many people who like country, like now or in the country community, have that Shania Twain point of reference from like in the late 90s, and your parents would just blast it. And I just feel like that really formed a lot of our country roots in the UK.
Yeah. So I'd say it's definitely the Shania, and then got into Rascall Flatts a bit more, and then Lady A.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, they
Throwback classics.
well, because I was very lucky to meet them last year. Yeah. Well, I was very uncool on that situation because when I met them, I was like really starstruck, and I like looked at them and I was like, you guys are the reason I really love country music, because when I was younger, all I ever used to do was listen to you, and yeah, just thank you so much because you've really been an inspiration to my life. And they were like, do you want a photo? And I was like, yes.
You just crack out your pot of paint.
I was like, I was so uncool. I was just like, oh, that was so amazing.
Especially because they come over from America, they feel like they're not real.
Yeah.
Like they don't feel like they're like real people. They feel like figments of our imagination.
And
then,
Charles is so tall. I was like,
really?
I love you.
That's made me think about when we met Priscilla Block at Long Road. We were so embarrassing.
We were so embarrassing.
Honestly.
And this girl, you know, she's obviously like 10 years our junior. Like we should be like totally chill, totally cool. We both literally walked up to this girl, was like, "You're amazing." She was like, "Thanks, guys. Do you want a picture?"
I think we said something like, "We've told all our friends to listen to you." And she was like, "Cool. Well, I actually think it's more all the work I'm doing rather than you guys telling it."
You guys are the sole.
Yeah, we're essentially her UK promoters. Honestly, we were such losers when we met Priscilla. Such losers.
I've been super lucky to have met a few people, and every single time I've been the biggest loser ever.
It's hard. And you're also like not really sure what to say. And you're just kind of like,
No.
What do they want from you? I just make a smutty joke generally.
Well, that's what you did with Riley Green.
Yeah. Oh, he was ridiculous. I like shook his hand and I was like, I love you.
While your husband's next door. Yeah.
Keep them on their toes. You never know when. You know, you've got to show them that you like Riley Green and be like, yeah, see, you know, you keep me on a leash.
He has the most beautiful eyes.
He just has a kind soul as well, which I didn't
Okay.
expect. Okay. Moving on, because I could talk about that for the next like 45 minutes. Okay, so best dressed woman in country music.
Oh, I don't even have to think about this.
Oh, yeah?
Lainey Wilson.
Yeah.
Straight up. She's just, I feel like you can look at an outfit not on Lainey and be like, that's a Lainey outfit.
Yes.
And I feel like when I went to see her, like all the girls were dressed like in a Lainey vibe. She definitely has like a vibe.
Yeah.
And I think it's very cool.
Very cool.
She looks amazing at all times.
Yeah.
You're so right that she has that like signature style. And it's so, because I find country styling really hard. We always have a panic before every event, everything. We don't know. As British people, I find it really difficult. And you ace it.
Oh, thanks.
But I will say this. I'm going to give a controversial opinion over
Go
here.
on.
I sometimes think that the UK crowd, we look ridiculous. I'm like, what are we doing?
Because we've come from the burbs, not a ranch. We've come from our one-bed flat.
You come from Putney. Like, talking to someone like me, how can you tell me we don't look like idiots and this is the reason why, and you should get into would you say it's Western fashion?
Yeah, I always describe it as like Western fashion rather than like country fashion, because I feel like it's a lifestyle rather than necessarily just like the music or whatever. Like, I feel like I follow a lot of American Western influencers, and I feel like that's definitely been the key.
So what would you say the lifestyle is to follow if you're in the UK? What's a Western lifestyle that I can get into?
I just feel like I feel like it's not about wearing, say, like country fashion, like head to toe. I feel like it's about wearing a few key items, a good pair of boots, a good hat, some nice turquoise jewelry or whatever. Like, I feel like it's just about incorporating little pieces because realistically, you're not going to wear your 10-gallon hat like when you go to Tesco. As much as I'd love to, like, you know what I mean? And like your Spurs, like you just, not that anyone wears Spurs, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's just about incorporating little bits into your general outfits.
Do you think it's like a part of maybe going and finding the authentic brands rather than the, you know, your online fast fashion stuff that are just flinging it on there because country's cool again? Where would you...
So I say this, but I definitely would like, I do feel like the fact, because country has got cool again, I feel like definitely there have been some more affordable pieces coming in.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you necessarily have to be all boutique-y or whatever, but I do think definitely boots, hats, they're like worth a good investment, I think.
Right.
Yeah. 100%. I'm very passionate about a good hat.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's different styles of hats that we can go for as women. Like, what sort of hat would you give me? Or would you say that I should wear? Because I honestly, I don't know how to, I just, every time I put a cowboy hat on, I look like I'm on a hen do.
Yeah.
That brand you talk about, is it Colours?
Lacquer Colours.
Lacquer Colours.
Oh my God.
Those ones are amazing.
They're so nice. They're an Australian brand. And they do a style called the Rancher. It's very Lainey Wilson-esque. It's kind of like a fedora, but it's got more of a wider brim. And it's got more of a like a rancher style. I forgot what it's called. Like, is it a crown? Compared to say like a trilby or a fedora. And I think it's the wider brim. Like, it's really flattering on a lot of people. And you don't feel too like, I've got a cowboy hat on. It's like subtle enough. Yeah. So I feel like it's a nice entry level cowboy hat.
Okay. And men in cowboy hats, UK men in cowboy hats, you like
so,
it? Because it divides people.
If it is a proper cowboy hat, I'm down. If it's a tiny little thing with stitching on and a chin strap, if your cowboy hat has a chin strap, get out. Get out.
That was what the Love Island boys were wearing at Morgan Wallen, and I was like, your hats are too small.
You are not riding anywhere to need that chin strap.
He might be riding somewhere.
Well, nowhere near me, because that is horrendous.
But yeah, so okay, hats have to be big enough on men.
Yeah,
we have to figure that out.
They need to be like a proper hat.
Someone needs to do like an announcement somewhere to all men in the UK. We're not wearing like Woody from Toy Story little hats. Like, we're not.
There is a correlation between your hat and
other things. Okay.
Everyone needs a 10-gallon hat in their life.
10-gallon hat and a 10. I feel like this must be on the cards for you. Would you start your own line? Would you do a collab with someone?
I'd love to. I would love to like have like a little Western.
I think it would kill it.
I mean, now's the time, isn't it?
I would buy everything.
I'd buy every item.
I'd be like,
literally every item.
Georgia's okayed it. I can buy this and I will look cool.
And we're manifesting this.
Yeah. Are you going to Long Road?
Absolutely.
Because I honestly think I'm going to be like, right, I'm going to take an hour of your time and you're going to take me around to all the stalls. You're going to style me. And then we're going to come back and be like, there we go. And that is lifestyling. Movie montage.
I literally have been trying to plan my outfits for weeks and I've got too many going on.
We have not enough going on.
I keep buying stuff. And Alex is like, what now? I'm like, I don't know, just a little. I've only got 3 days. I'm going to have to do outfit changes at this point.
On that though, do you ever like just overly feel the pressure on it? And you ever just like, I just want to turn up in like jeans and t-shirt and not give a shit? Or do you actually still actively enjoy it?
I absolutely, like, honestly, genuinely, I feel like shit if I look like shit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I feel like recently I've just lived in gym wear all the time at the moment. I posted about that the other day saying I'm just trying to find my style back a bit again. And I think been trying to wear more Western stuff because I do feel very like at home in my Western stuff. Try not to feel like following trends because it's very easy, I think, particularly when you work in social media, to just like jump on a trend. Not that I dislike trends because I do love them. But yeah, I feel like trying to find my own style a little bit again because I do feel like all I wear is leggings at the moment. It's the dogs. They're driving me mad.
The dogs will get you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard when you're in that rut as well because then you're just like, well, I don't know what else to do apart from these leggings. I'm just going to be in them for the rest of time.
Honestly, it's a good job I have as many clothes as I do. Otherwise, yeah, I would literally just be in leggings and big t-shirts all the time. But yeah, no, I do feel better when I'm in a nice outfit or in a nice dress or whatever. Like it does make me feel happier.
Because you're working in like social media, do you ever feel like you feel a lot of pressure to be like a role model, or like if you like, especially being like a curvy influencer, I know that there's a lot of like pressure that you get from sometimes if your weight fluctuates, like some people will be like, oh, you're bigger now, oh, you're too small now to be this, that, and do you find that difficult, or
I think I try and always make sure that like my narrative's very clear, like when it comes to like what I believe in. And I think when I very much first started doing like the social media and posting about like body confidence and all that kind of stuff, I was in a place where I'd put on loads of weight because of COVID, and I was like, I think probably internally panicking, and I probably was like, oh my god, well, doesn't matter because I just love my body, and was like in this like projection of it doesn't matter, everyone should love themselves. And actually, I think as time's gone on, I feel like maybe I've changed that narrative a little bit and kind of realised that actually you don't have to force yourself to love yourself all the time, but actually what you need to do is just change your mindset to, I might not like the way I look all the time, but I'm not going to stop it from living my life. And that's the key. I feel for people, and I've been there myself, where you put in your life on hold until you've lost weight, until you've got in that dress size, until, you know, whatever. And like, life's too short.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And like, not one person, I would say this, like when you go on holiday and you're on that dream holiday and you're not going to wear that bikini because you're feeling a little bit conscious of your stretch marks, not one person on that beach is going to look at you and remember you in 10 years' time.
No.
So like, what's the point?
And also, you always look back at those photos in 10 years' time and you think, I look great. Yeah. I look great. It doesn't matter what size or what phase you're at in your life. You just think, I look great. I look. You can't believe it.
100%. I mean, there's photos. I went to Mexico in 2019, and it was just at the end of my Slimming World like fixation, and I remember crying in the car park after my Slimming World meeting before my Mexico trip because I hadn't hit my weight target. Bearing in mind I'd lost like 2.5 stone in about 3 months at this point, and it was like intense, and I was like a lot slimmer than I am now. And I remember just like sobbing in the car. And then I look back at the photos in Mexico, and I remember being really scared to post them. I look back at them now, I was like, oh my God, I was literally the size of my thigh. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
But it's just crazy the amount of pressure like we can put on ourselves.
Yeah.
So I think it's just that really, like, it's just changing your narrative, like, and just being neutral. I always say body neutrality. I'm not gonna be able to say it now. But like, yeah, just being completely neutral. Like, my value doesn't change depending on what I look like.
That is a very key message that we all need to still, and every day you need to remind yourself of it, because it's so easy, depending on what happens in life, of like, you know, whether you think, oh, I should be doing this. Like, I've felt like I should be on some massive heartbreak, slim down because I've had a big heartbreak, and I haven't. And I'm like, what's going on here? This is one of the good things that you got.
But maybe you're living your best life.
I'm living my best life. And also I was on like wedge shred before I was getting married.
Yeah.
So then I went the other way, and now I've just been like, so it doesn't define your value.
No, 100%.
You do have to remind yourself of that though, because I really struggle with it, and my weight fluctuates a lot, and I definitely get so affected by thinking that, oh, I've got to lose this amount of weight or be this size before I can do X, Y, Z. And it's like sometimes so hard to release yourself from the chains of that, but it's literally just like the constant pressure of, well, social media sometimes, and that's why like people like you are so helpful and inspirational. But I also think, like, obviously hopefully the message is moving a bit, but it's kind of just the way we grew up as well. It's just like the messaging constantly,
and we've struggled even filming this podcast. Like, we will look back at the videos and be like, oh my God, do we actually look like that? And lots of people actually say, no, you actually don't. Sometimes it's just a camera will add this amount or whatever, but it has been a topic of conversation between us doing the podcast of like, when we're not used to being filmed all the time, or you get, especially when you're using your own phone, you get to kind of control the angles, and that's how your brain registers of how you look.
Oh, it's such, and it's also like, and it's mirrored as well.
But it is good people like Priscilla Block and like more people are being in the country world.
Yeah, I was saying to Ozzy just before you came, I was like, if you think back, like maybe 10 years ago, country female artists were all one package. I mean, Miranda Lambert's now looking curvy and strong, like you got Priscilla Block. But it doesn't really matter, because, like, you know, you've got your Kelsey Ballerinis, and like you can just tell she's always been slim, and she's never even I think she's actually spoken about trying to put on weight. You know, and it's just no woman is going to win.
No.
And then the men just get away with it, no problem. The Jelly Rolls and the Luke Combs, they're just living their best life all the time. Never was a problem in the first place.
No.
But
it is. I feel for women in country, like the image, the body image, the fashion, everything. It's so like homed in on, and the guys just get to live their best lives.
Yeah. So you told me that one of your favourite artists is Zach Bryan.
Yeah.
What is your favourite song from the new album?
Oh, from the new album. Oh, well, it's between Bass Boat. I'm trying to say Bass Boat. 28.
Oh yeah, I do like 28.
It's so good. I love his poem at the beginning as well. Makes me cry every time I listen to it.
He's sad boy country.
He is massively.
He definitely. I've seen him. I've been lucky enough to see him in a couple of times, and
Stop. I've never seen him.
I feel very lucky because I've seen him in two very completely different situations. So I saw him as one of like 1,000 people in a cathedral in Manchester.
What?
Which
No
was
way.
phenomenal. And then on another scale, I saw him at Pilgrimage Festival in Nashville just after he'd released his Hey Driver album.
Oh my God.
Basically he brought out Noah Khan, the Lumineers, the War and Treaty. And and Noah Khan wasn't even meant to be performing at Pilgrimage. So there's a video of me and I'm like filming and they start playing Sarah's Place. And I went, imagine if Noah Khan comes out. And then Noah Khan walks out and I kid you not, like tears are pouring down my face. I was quite drunk. They were like pouring down my face. I was saying, it's fucking Noah Khan. It's Noah Khan. I'm in Nashville.
That was such an instant manifestation.
Honestly, it was the best gig I have probably ever been to in my life. Revival in that scenario.
I can't even imagine.
I was like, I'm seeing Revival in Nashville in like a festival setting. It was just the most amazing experience of my life.
When is he coming back to the UK?
He's meant to be coming back, isn't he, next year?
You think it's next year?
I think so.
Right,
because,
okay.
well, also as well, there's been, because for this album, there's been a wall done in Shoreditch, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
And you can go and get his bar, go and get the bar coasters off. So I feel like, why would he bother doing that?
If he's not
planning
something. Yeah.
I would love to see him again. Though I know that's very selfish of me to try and see him 3 times, but I do love this album.
Yeah.
It is phenomenal. Yeah.
What do you think about his relationship with Brianna?
Oh, so it's so controversial, isn't it?
It is controversial.
I don't know much about her or whatever, and I've not.
Well, for our listeners who don't know, Brianna Chicken Fry, she's a big podcaster in the US.
She's a podcaster, right?
Yeah, she's a big podcaster in the US for Barstool Sports, which obviously Barstool, they are very controversial. And Brianna sometimes would get a little bit of kickback for some of her behaviour, sometimes out in the wild. She was kind of a controversial, crazy character. She would be a girl in a low place, tell you that.
Yeah.
She would be one of us. But I think that then there was there's like some, I don't know if there was crossover. I really don't want Dave Portnoy to come for me. So I'm being very careful. Or Brianna, I love you, Brianna. But I think, there was, he ended something and then he got into this.
I feel like
something.
he is a tortured soul, isn't he?
Yeah.
Bless him.
Yeah.
He's been through some stuff. He's made some decisions that maybe not everyone would like to.
But isn't that part of why we love the country music though? Like you got a bit of life experience.
She seems to have made him really happy.
Yes, yeah.
And I just think they're not hurting anyone at the moment, are they?
They're not, no.
So
and I love a crossover celebrity relationship like that. Like I think it's like really fun to watch.
I also just think there's probably a lot of girls that really fancy him, which I do get a little bit. I mean, he's a short king, which I'm not. We
love a short king. No, I love a short king. It makes me feel like I'm a model.
Yeah, I get that.
And also, if you've got big tits, it means they're just direct eye line, and you're like, you're mine. We love a short king.
I love that.
Catherine,
I'm sorry.
Honestly, we get halfway through and suddenly she's unleashed.
I literally said to Ozzy, I was like, this episode, I'm not going to come across like a horny weirdo for all the country stars, and I've literally just done it again.
Literally.
Oh my God. Okay, so yeah, Zach Bryan.
Though he's just come out, he's a bit random on Twitter though, isn't he? See, this is where sometimes I get a bit like, I'm like, I love his music, but I'm just not very attracted to his personality.
Also, like, he said he wasn't country, didn't he?
Yeah,
he
that's what I'm saying. He's like, I'm not country anymore. He is very much like, me and my husband having this conversation. He's very much like Bruce Springsteen-esque, isn't he? And he's kind of trying to establish himself as his kind of own artist, I think, stepping away from country a little bit.
Yeah. I do think that also he is an artist that a lot of people who wouldn't say they like country music like him, and they wouldn't say they were a country music fan, but he's like sort of in his own.
Yeah, I think he's a good transitional person, especially for your partners. I think for those girls that are struggling to get their partners into country music, get them on Zach.
Yeah.
entryway drug.
Zach is a good entryway drug to country music. He is. He's the one that if you meet someone randomly and you're like, oh, do you like country music? They're like, no, but I do like Zach Bryan.
Yeah.
It generally seems to be the way. Yeah. Who is your country music hall pass?
I don't know. I feel like after meeting Riley, bloody hell, me and my friend Brit was like, he touched my waist. I was like, I know. We were such fangirls. We were both with our husbands and we were like, sorry.
What is the best and worst thing about being a country music fan in the UK?
I think the best thing, is that the community. I think we've had this conversation, obviously. Just, I feel like genuinely I've met some incredible friends, like Brit, who I met Riley with. Like, we met at Long Road last year. Right. And like, we've now become like best friends. There's another couple that we bumped into in Memphis. That was really random. And now we go to loads of gigs with them. Like, I think just that sort of side of it, like I think meeting friends as an adult is so difficult.
Yeah.
So meeting people that are on the same wavelength to you, that have the same music interest, I think is a huge instant connection, isn't it?
Yeah, it's immediate. See, so much in common. Like, you can talk about country music with someone for hours. Yeah. And you don't need to know another thing about them, but you can just sit there and talk about the country music scene, because you don't always get to do that in the UK. You don't always get that outlet. So when you do, it's like, and we're off and we're immediate friends.
If they like, oh, I'm like, do you? I like them too. And then that's it for like a solid hour. And they're like, okay, I listened to them once. I'm like, it's my life.
It's my whole identity. I am country music.
It really is.
And what's the worst thing? Or what's something you think that we can improve on in the UK?
I think venue sizing. It's a big thing, isn't it? And like getting the tickets sales, like sometimes things just sell out like that, and they've just not got the right venue size.
It just seems like they don't have the right people in. It's awful, but I'm going to say it. It feels like they don't have someone who actually understands country music in charge of these venues.
Yeah, I agree.
Somewhere along the line, something's being missed, because, I can just see it that when someone like Shabuzi, who now is going to be huge, is going to be put in the wrong stage or something when he comes over, or like, Zach is now a different level. So I feel like that'll always be the O2 or Wembley or something like that. But it's just, they just don't get it right. Like, Lainey was so small.
I was right at the front, so it was amazing. Honestly, I practically could see her sweating. It was delightful.
It is great that you can get that up and close, but it means that the experience as fans can be quite uncomfortable.
Oh yeah,
in the
totally.
gigs.
When I went to see Tyler Childers, that was like a very random gig, because that was in London at the Apollo, Kentish Town. And obviously the floor's like slightly sloped and the acoustics just weren't. I just felt like for that kind of artist, like if you were stood near the back, like you just couldn't hear him. Like I could just hear everyone around talking, and I was just like, and I love him, so I was getting a bit stressed.
Yeah. But what I can't understand though is that there must be a venue or venues that are somewhere in between those, like the O2 and the O2 in Wembley.
Yeah.
Like they just need something in the middle. We're not saying like we all want to be at the O2 all the time. Like we don't, but something in the middle.
But I was talking to some of the promoters the other day when I went for a meeting with them, and they were saying a lot of the anxiety and stress around country concerts is that protectiveness of the community.
Yeah.
Because there are now new fans coming in, and the protective of the community who've already been there, and then that sort of clash of people who want to stand there and listen to it because they've been fans forever, and then the new people who come in and just want to drink and party, But I do think you can have both. You can be both. You can come in, want to have a drink, and be protective of your community, and be protective of the artist, and we can all get along. There doesn't need to be this sort of like sometimes quite thick tension. But if we had space to go and get a drink at the bar and still enjoy the artist and still be in an intimate setting, we'd all be laughing.
Yeah, I think that's why I love a festival vibe so much.
Exactly. Long Road is going to be great.
Long Road is honestly, like, for
fave.
anyone listening who's not been, like, it is genuinely we went last year for the first time, and it's genuinely it was the best weekend ever. Yeah. It was so good, and I can't wait. Again. Who are you most looking forward to?
Obviously Sunday, Russell Dickerson. But do you know what? I love the different stages there. I love that, you know, the little house one with the little smoke. Love the front porch. I found with Long Road as well, we found so many new artists that I didn't know about or didn't consider before. And it just felt like a really educational experience. And then they're like the bandioke, live karaoke stuff.
That is so fun. Who are you most looking forward to?
Oh, I think like White Floors. I absolutely love him. He is amazing.
Oh, I need to do more of a listen.
Yeah, he's really, really cool. He was meant to be at C2C, but then pulled out quite last minute. I don't think he was very well. But he's just got some really great songs. And Red Clay Strays as well.
Okay.
They're really, really good.
I feel like we've been like really well fed like in the last week with like female country stuff. We had Maren Morris's new album, which I know she's kind of like going away from country, but I did actually enjoy it. I mean, I'm in my like bitter, angry, I've just left someone phase. So I was really enjoying This Is How a Woman Leaves. Like, I think that was amazing.
I really like Push Me Over.
Push Me Over. I really like Push Me Over.
It's a pop banger.
Oh my God. I think it's all about her like venturing into her bisexuality.
Oh,
and
okay.
It's really good. Yeah. I'm on the fence. I'm sitting on the fence. It feels good between my legs. Push Me Over. Yes. Yes. So good. So that's been really good. Then we had Ella Langley had her album come out, and then we had Mega Maroney on Call Her Daddy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So there's
Tea was spilled.
Tea was spilled, and then we had Casey Musgraves coming out with an extended album with Deeper Wells. So it's been
it's been a lot.
It's been a lot. It's been a lot. Did you guys both watch the Mega Maroney episode?
I did.
What are your thoughts? You were saying to me, you were like, you're bigger on the male country artists than you are on the female country in general.
And just generally not like out of like, I want to be really pro-female. I'm such a girl. Like, so it feels really wrong to say that. But like, I think I listen to, if I'm honest, I listen to a lot more male country artists. I think that's just due to my preference in music. Like, not necessarily like, I prefer it. Like, but yeah, like I like her and I appreciate her for an artist. I think like, you know, I said to you guys briefly, like, I think she's just like at a different stage of life to me. So I don't relate to her music as much.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I think that's all. But I totally respect her as an artist. I feel like I love her style. I think she's dead cute.
You're not dating any toxic men. That's why you're not really, Whereas me, loving it. I'm like, yes, indifferent. Yes. I totally know what you mean. It is very much like that kind of like mid-20s. Kind of like,
she's so beautiful though, isn't she?
She's so gorgeous, and
she's everything you want to be.
Yeah, she's when I put a bow in my hair, I think I look like Mega Maroney, but actually I look like I've got some sort of problem. Don't think I can put that on. I think that's too far. But it just always, my bow just always sits like a little bit wonky, and it's like, oh dear.
It's like, why is a woman in her 30s wearing a bow? Oh God.
But yeah, she's got that. I think she's another one who's been styled really well, and I love that she does with all her albums. Like she's in the blue phase before she's in the green phase. I just think that's really smart from their marketing.
Clever.
Yeah, she's clever.
But I think it's just such a range of country music though, isn't there? I think we sometimes get nervous about we're not covering enough, but actually when you're kind of in the genre, there is so much to discuss, and you could be talking about your Randy Travis's and your Tyler Childers, and you could be talking about your Mega Maroneys and your Taylor Swifts.
Everyone's got
it's
their
so
little pockets.
Yeah.
But I feel that even though people have got their pockets of like what they like, in the country community, everybody still respects all the rest.
That's it. Like I have so much respect for like basically everyone. I think there's like not really any country artist that I'm like, nah. Like honestly, there isn't.
Yeah.
I just don't. I just genuinely appreciate it all. I'm just here for the vibes.
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 And vibes there are.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If there was a song that would summarise how you feel today, what would it be?
Oh,
country song.
God, that's so much pressure, like on the spot.
What about you, Ozzy?
Topical, The Girls, Mega Maroney, new song off her album.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
She's just singing about how great it is having gal pals and being with the gals.
We like that.
Yeah.
Oh, Thicc as Thieves.
Love that. Is that
Lainey Wilson and Lauren?
She was the one we should have said. Lauren, she's really body positive.
I would say, is it Eleni? I don't know. I don't know.
I thought it was Elena.
You're probably right. I'm just making something up.
I actually find sometimes that's a problem of being like a UK country fan, is that we'll see things written down all the time, and because you won't talk about it with anyone, or you won't maybe hear it on the radio that much because like we don't necessarily get all that access.
No.
then sometimes you'll go to a country concert and you'll say so, like, Lauren Alina. And everyone will be like, are you okay? It's like, God, I've never actually heard that word out loud.
She was engaged before.
Was she?
Yeah.
She's just got married. She's got newly married. Yeah.
That's my stomach rumbling.
Oh. And that concludes today's episode. Aussie's hungry. Speaking of positivity, we're off to get lunch. This has been amazing. I can't wait to hang at Long Road.
I know. Oh my God.
Georgia's going to be doing a makeover movie montage.
I'm going to turn up and she's going to be like, what the hell are you wearing?
What are you wearing? That hat is way too small and Katie has got a chin strap. Get it
that
off.
chin strap
Get that
off.
chin strap off.
Get that pink sparkly chin strap.